Hey, everybody, welcome to your very first day of AI 101 for beginners. This is for the particular person who's never used ChatGPT before, who doesn't really understand AI, is afraid of AI. As a matter of fact, I've talked to so many people who are absolutely afraid of AI. They think it's the Antichrist, they think it's going to take over, they think it's going to here's the truth. Here's the fact of the matter. It is taking over. It is actually implementing itself into our lives, just like the tractor did when the tractor was made, or when our cars were made for the first time, or when we received a cell phone for the first time. Things have changed. Technology comes in, things get smarter. We develop with it, or we get steamrolled over. So you have to be willing and ready to move forward with AI. Here's what I want to tell you about AI, and it's nothing to be afraid of. As a matter of fact, you should definitely embrace it. I use AI maybe 15 times a day or more. I'm on AI. I'm on ChatGPT probably more than I am on social media now, more than I am doing anything else. I hardly ever use Google. And let me explain the difference between that, because I think a lot of people don't really understand the difference between Google and ChatGPT or basic AIs. So Google is like a librarian, right? You can go through and pick out books out of the library. So when you type a search into Google and you say, what are the best electronics to have for example, microphones for my podcast? And what Google's going to go do is it's going to go out onto the internet and it's going to crawl around and look for different websites that say exactly what you asked for or something very close to. And it's going to look for podcast microphones and then bring you back a conglomeration of 100 different websites and say, here you go, happy reading. See you in 8 days when you get through with all of those and do all the research, right? What ChatGPT does, ChatGPT is like the library itself. And it already knows and stored all of this information. And you're basically asking somebody who read the entire library, who knows exactly what book, where to find it, the exact answer you're looking for, not a bunch of different websites to go and read. So what it does is it narrows things down for you exactly what you're asking for. What you have to learn to do with chat is learn how to ask very, very, very specific questions. And that's what I'm going to teach you throughout this entire program, throughout this next month. I'm going to teach you how to hone in on those very specific questions, because the more specific your question is, which is also known as a prompt, the more specific your prompt is, the better and the more cleaner and clearer answer you're going to get, and the more time you will save. So let's get started. I want to teach you, number one, what ChatGPT means. Everyone understands what chat means. We're talking, we're having a conversation, right? So this is a conversational AI. And GPT means generative. Number one, G, generative, means it can go and generate new data. Remember, Google goes and finds websites and brings you back websites. Generative is generating new information every single time you search for it. So the P in GPT is pre-trained. So if you think about this like your iPhone has an update maybe every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, every year, whatever the case. Every time you update your iPhone, it has new capabilities. It has new smarts, if you will, right? It's been trained in a different way. It's like going to get a degree and then you stop learning. Your education only goes as far as what you've learned. Now, every time OpenAI, which is the creator of ChatGPT, every time they update ChatGPT, then there's a new edition of ChatGPT. So basically, imagine like this, you're in a public library and Chat has read every single book and cannot possibly learn any more. It's not going to websites to get you new information. It's just learning. It's just pulling from what it's already learned. It's this wide database of information that it already knows. It's already pre-trained. Okay. So now when you ask it current questions like what's the current weather and what's the stock price for this, it has outsourced websites that it goes to update that information. But the basic learning doesn't change until OpenAI actually updates ChatGPT. That typically happens every quarter, every 6 months, every year, or when a new breakthrough happens. What you're going to find is that we're probably going to see updates more often, like every 4 or 5 months, or maybe even quicker. And the reason is because AIs are becoming competitive. ChatGPT is not the only one out there. There's about they grow every day. There's so many out there. Microsoft has one. Google has one. I mean, there's a ton of them. They all do different things. They all act differently. Some of them are better than the other for very specific tasks and jobs. And so what you're going to have to do is just figure out what you're looking for, learn the different AIs. But today we're learning about ChatGPT. We may get into the others over the next month. I'm not sure. We'll see where this goes. But today, right now, we're learning ChatGPT. So again, chat, having a conversation. G is generating new data, right? P is pre-trained data. T is transforming that data into a real life conversation with you so you can understand, digest, eat, and chew all the information that you just absorbed. So it's not giving you a bunch of data, it's giving you the exact data. That's what ChatGPT does. That's why it's so imperative and so it's important for you to understand it is not Google. It is better than Google. It will save you so much time in your life, so much money. It's replacing people. Now let me talk about that right there, because so many people are thinking, oh, it's going to replace my job. AI is not going to replace your job. You know who's going to replace your job is people who understand AI and people who are training on it and get it. Those people are going to replace your job because less and less people are going to be needed, because we're going to be able to access things much faster. And so you have to get on board, get on the bus, Gus, because if you don't, the bus is rolling over you. Here we go. Day one. Here is something also that you probably need to understand about AI and ChatGPT is you're not teaching it anything. So when you search something from chat, you're not learning it. You're not teaching it something that it knows for the future. It still knows only the same information. It may save information for you, not for chat. Chat's not going to save your information and learn from it. That's basically a conversation between you and chat. That's the reason why I might put in the same exact thing that you could put in ChatGPT. And I mean prompt, like build me say for example, build me a Facebook page that is relative to my particular customer base that will go viral, that has viral hashtags and talks about drinking beer, right? So what it will do is it will build that very specific ad. And if you and I used word for word prompts, you're going to get something different than I'm going to get. And the reason is because chat learns how to help you. Why is that important? This is one of the biggest things you're ever going to learn about ChatGPT. ChatGPT isn't a what, it's a who. It's who you are training it to be for you. Is it your assistant? Is it your editor? Is it your travel arranger? Is it whoever? You are training it to be somebody specific. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. Let's get into it. Okay, so when you're teaching your chat, and I say your chat because your chat is not the same as my chat, your chat is building a relationship with you. And what I mean by that is you are teaching chat how to go and find things for you, how to act, and how to respond to you. The way that you teach your chat is different than the way I do it. And these are by prompts that we put in. Okay, so for example, I tell my chat, well, here's a really good story. So the other day, my wife and I got into this pretty heated argument. I don't want to say a fight, but we were definitely not siding with each other. Let's just say that. And so I didn't understand it. I was like, I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know how I could have said anything better or whatever the case. I'm not sure why she flipped out the way that she did. Obviously, it was her fault, not mine, right? I know, right? Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so I put in the exact argument into chat. I said, chat, I want you to act as a marriage counselor, a mentor, and a friend of mine. I want you to be straight up honest with me, no fluff, and I need you to tell me what I did wrong here because I don't understand. And so chat came back to me and said, Bill, what you said was not wrong. The way you said it could have probably been tuned. And so what it told me was a better way to say it. So she was excited about something that she was getting ready to do. It was a big investment. And the only thing she told me was the investment amount. So I didn't get a chance to celebrate with her. I didn't get a chance to learn with her the excitement that she had. All I knew was the amount that she wanted to spend. And I was like, whoa, that's a lot of money. And automatically I peed on her parade, right? So, because I didn't understand what she knew, I didn't get a chance to learn what she learned. And that's what chat told me. Said, Bill, your wife was in an emotional situation. You were in a logical situation. You were trying to logic her emotion. And I was like, wow, chat, that was pretty deep. That was pretty strong. Thank you so much. But do you see how your prompts that you put into chat are very important? So what I did is I asked it to be a mentor. I asked it to be a marriage coach. I asked it to be a friend. And I asked it to be truthful and straight up with me. Now, I could ask chat, hey, chat, I want you to side with me and tell me why I was right. And I want you to act as my best friend and not hers. And it'll give me a completely different answer. So the way that you put your questions in, the person you ask it to be, the characters that you give it, and you pre-tell it, that's how you want it to respond to you, is going to determine the outcome of what you get out of chat. Okay, here we go. Here is a real life example. I'm going to walk you through ChatGPT. So first thing you want to do is look up here, go to chatgpt.com. You'll probably have to fill out a little bit of information so it understands who you are. And you're probably going to need to do a login. Your basic login is fine, no big deal. Okay, what I do is I go to new chat when I have something new that I need chat to look up for me, and it says, ready when you are. All right, so here we go. Lesson number 1, signing into chat first of all. So you're going to go onto your browser, go to chatgpt.com, log in. You're going to have to do a new sign up. It's going to ask for your email, your information, so on and so forth. Just go ahead and get that done. Once you're done with that, then it's going to pretty much come to this screen here. Ready when you are. Ask anything you want. You can go to new chat. Before we get into chat, I just want to show you what's going on over here on the side. So you can see there's something called Dolly. Dolly is a GPT or an AI that can create pictures for you, and that's usually what ChatGPT uses for its pictures. And there's all different kinds of, you can explore all the different types of GPTs that there are that you can download. A lot of really fun stuff, a lot of really cool stuff. There might be stuff that's for music. There might be stuff for work. There's things for presentation. There's different types of AIs that chat can work with, and chat can build prompts for you to work in those. That's going to be later on down the road, probably a week or two away. Right now, we're just learning the basics. So I'm just going to go back to new chat here. But also, before I do that, you can create different projects here. You can say, I want a new project, and it'll ask you what type of project it is: investing, homework, writing, health, travel, so on and so forth. And let's do travel, for example, because I just used that one. So I'm going to say travel during April 2026. Now, whenever I save anything into this, I can access this on my phone. I can access it on my iPad. I can access it on my computer, wherever the case, wherever I can pull up chat and open my account. All of that information is up in the chat cloud, basically. I can find it anywhere that I have a device that I can access my account. So even if you did all this research on your computer at home or in your office, whatever the case, you can get it on the fly. So that's what's cool about this. So let's just say, for example, I'm going to ask chat, let's see, look for the best time for me to travel to Hawaii during the month of December. Okay, that's a basic question. So let's see what comes up. You can see how fast this goes. All right. It says I'm focusing on finding the best travel window. So it's searching a whole bunch of different areas where it can find. Okay. Short answers. Shoot for the first half of December. Avoid Christmas and New Year's. Here's the breakdown tailored for you. Weather. Honolulu, Oahu in December. Highs 80, 81. Lows around 69 to 72. So it's telling me this is when you should travel if you want to have the best weather or whatever the case, or what you may expect to come into during the month of December. It's the rainy season, but the wettest month. In Hawaii is still only around an inch or so in many years. Okay, now it goes down to the cheapest. Crowds, prices, cheapest, least crowded window. Historically early to mid-December, roughly December 1 through the 14th. 1st to the 14th has some of the lowest visitor counts and shoulder season pricing before the holiday crush. Cool. Tells you when the most expensive is, typical, so on and so forth. Okay. So now I didn't even ask it a lot of those questions, but because it knows me and it knows a lot of the deeper level questions I'm going to ask it, I've trained chat to look for very specific things. I'm going to get into it later on down the road, but you can create your own GPT. I have a Bill GPT. It's based on all of the questioning, my life, my kids, my business, my properties, so on and so forth. Everything that I've computed into chat, it knows me and it knows how to respond based on me. Yours will respond based on you. Okay, so now let's ask a deeper question. So, okay, chat. Thanks for that. Always be polite. Thanks for that. Can you tell me which hotels have the best rating and a pool and free breakfast? Because I'm on a budget. Free breakfast. Oh, also, pick the ones. Also spell for me, chat. Also, and chat does. Chat knows and predicts your spelling is wrong. It's fine. It just, you don't have to have everything absolutely right. Also, pick the ones closest to the beach and have the best Mai Tais. Okay, so I've asked a very specific question with a lot of different parameters. So if I were to do this on Google, it would probably take me about 4 hours to go through all of the different searches and all of the different websites and everything that I would have to go to. So let's see what chat comes up with for those very specific questions. Here's a solid hotel picks in Waikiki that check your boxes. Good ratings, pool, breakfast included, close to the beach, and near great Mai Tais. I can dig up more if you'd like more options. Why this one stands out. Okay, so it gave me the best one. Embassy Suites by Hilton Waikiki Beach. Has all my picks. It's right by the beach. It has a pool. It has free breakfast, and it's right by Mai Tais. Consideration: it, it says consideration, resort fees, parking surcharges might apply. Be sure to check with the resort and what's included. Do you see how your life you saved so much time based on what you wanted? Now I can do the same thing. I could say I'm looking for an Airbnb with 2 bedrooms and 1 bath or whatever the case, and it can go and do that search for me. I can say, look for the best place for me to find a rental car. As a matter of fact, let's do it. So find the cheapest rental car for me for December 1st through December 9th, just for example, 2025. Okay, so good deal indications. You can find me a rental car for $28.37 or $28 to $37 if I go onto kayak.com. What I found you can likely book a decent economy car for $30 to $40 for your 8-night stay over 8 days at 35 approximate, 280 base count, and then it basically tells me where I can find it, so on and so forth. You can go deeper and deeper and deeper questions. Okay, let me show you another example, something that's not travel. Let's say that I want to learn how to make spaghetti sauce, because I'm Italian and a lot of people, if you open Prego, you open a jar of Prego, I'm gonna knucklehead. That's not spaghetti sauce. Okay, teach me how to make spaghetti sauce, so you don't have to go and search a whole bunch of different sites and go through YouTube videos. Teach me how to make spaghetti sauce. I spelled it wrong, I know. So I asked a very basic spaghetti sauce. Here's an OBS taste. Oh, by the way, one of the prompts that I give in chat is I said, chat, when you give me an answer, I do not want you to BS me. I don't want you to blow smoke at me. I don't want you to tell me how great I am, because chat does. Chat is like the greatest cheerleader in the world. It will make you feel so good about yourself falsely and tell you how amazing you are just about in every single way. So I needed it to be real with me, and I tell it, don't give me any fluff. Just give me real straight up answers. And if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. That's a prompt I actually put in. I'll teach you that later. So here we go. So simple 15-minute spaghetti sauce gives me the ingredients, gives me the steps, and another version of the spaghetti sauce and steps and pro tips. Don't burn the garlic. Sugar is not cheating. Tomato paste is your friend. Wine equals depth. Wow. You know what? I mean, how much time did I just save versus going through all the Pinterest deals and then all the YouTube deals and trying to find the right sauce. And then I got to watch a 45-minute video to figure out if that's the one I want. I just did it in 1 freaking minute. Are you kidding me? This is amazing, guys. Play around with it. Start doing searches on it. It is not Google. It will change your life. It will change the way that you do things throughout your day. Check it out. Start playing with it. That's your lesson 1. I hope you had fun. Check back with me for tomorrow for lesson 2, and our depth is going to keep going and going and going and going. And by the end of this month, by the end of this 20 to 30 days that we do this, you are going to be so smart with ChatGPT that your life is going to be different. I promise you, if you stick with me every day. Again, if you want to be notified each and every day of every time I make a change or drop a video, just go ahead, put it in the comments, vision, and I will send you an invite and get you on the list. Thanks, guys. See you soon.